So let we shall start. Good evening to all of you. Om Namah Shivaya. Om Sahana Bhavatu Sahano Bhunaktu Sahaviryam Karavavahe Tedasvinastu Ma Vidvesavahe. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Om Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om. Sankaram Sankaracharyam Kesavam Badarayana Sutrabhasakrito Vande Bhagavanto Punaha Punaha Iswara Gururatmete Murti Bheda Vibhagine Vyamavad Vyata Dehaya Siddhachina Murtaye Namaha. Harihi Om Namah Shivaya Gurave Sachidananda Murtaye Nisprapanchaya Santaya Niralambaya Tejase. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om. So today we are going to study the Tantra Darshan, the Vijnanavar Tantra, and I would like to also some people, I mean you already Atmananda knows many things, but somehow Yogananda actually not exactly understand the introduction of the Vijnanavar Tantra. Or do you attend ever a Vijnanavar Tantra? Yoganand?
Can you repeat, please?
Did you ever attend before the Vijnanavar Tantra?
Yeah, a little bit with you.
So good. So today let it will be review for the Atmanand. Is also nice to listen. The Rudramala, say the Vijnanavar Tantra, the Sutra number 1. The Sutra number 1, they say Sri Devi Vacha, and is said by the Devi. Srutam Devamaya Sarvam Rudra Yamala Sambhavam. They say Srutam Devamaya Sarvam Rudra Yamala Sambhavam Rika Bhedamasesena Sarasara Vinagasaha. They say, said by Devi. What they say? Three Devi, auspicious goddess. Uvacha, Srutam, the heart. Srutam Deva Maya Sarvam. Srutam means to heart. Deva, divine one. Maya by me. Sarvam all. Rudramala Sambhavam, that has emerged from the Rudramala Tantra. Trika, group of 3. Vedam, divisions. Asesena, complete. And Saratsara, quintessence. Vibha Gasaha, section wise. So Sri Devi says, Sri Devi the goddess, the Bhairavi. O Deva, here Deva is the Lord Shiva as a Bhairava. O Deva, I have heard in details all that has been revealed through the union of Rudra and his Sakti, or what has emerged from the Rudramal Tantra. I have also understood Trika, or the three division of Shakti, which forms the quite essence of all knowledge. So we have to little bit go to background, say that then second sutra come, third sutra come, and so on. So thus we have to understand what is the, and you must understand Vijnana Tantra is the discourse between the goddess, the consort, and the goddess, the consort of Lord Shiva, and Bhairavi or Devi, the goddess, the divine mother. And Lord Shiva represents as Bhairava, a liberate one, who is liberated completely. There is no karma left, there is no suffering left, total liberation. Bhairav consciousness is all about to enter into kingdom of Shiva. So then they say that is two kind of things. We have to understand a little bit Agama and Nigama. Agama is the Tantra is known as Agama, and opposed to the Vedas, which are known as Nigama. So Agama Shastra is the Tantra. Agama means to carry on or to go forward. The Agamas are older than the Vedas. In fact, they are as old as a man himself. So you have to understand the Agama Shastra, the Tantra Shastra is older than the Vedas. So Veda is not a very beginning of the spiritual science, but science of Tantra, the Agama Shastra. So Agama, so I'm speaking about Agama Shastras. Agama is the very beginning. Agama means to carry on, to go forward until all the way to the enlightenment. Agamas are older than the Vedas. In fact, they are as old as man himself. The birth of Agamas took place with the man's first appearance on this earth. As he passed on the knowledge and experience he had gained, Agama is not opposed to the change and adaptation according to the circumstances and situations that confront man. It readily accepts new ideas or thoughts that are beneficial in a man's quest to know himself. Thus, many ideas have been added down through the ages as a man becomes more and more aware of the world. Therefore, thus many ideas have been added down through the ages as man become more and more aware of the world around him, thereby increase the vibrancy and dynamism of the Agamas. Says Atharvam classified and coded the Agamas that existed under the name of Tantra and consolidated them in the Atharveda. So which was named after him. Prior to that, there were only three Vedas. He is responsible for the fourth. He lived in the Haryana and Rishi Vyasa, who was his contemporary, often visited. So this is the little bit idea about Agama and the Nigama. So Agama is the tantric science, which leads all the way to the enlightenment. And we have to understand Tantra means expansion of the consciousness, and from Muladhara Chakra to the consciousness absolute or the absolute enlightenment. So today we are also going to study so therefore this commentary, the Satya or the truth is eternal. It is forever existent in the cosmos at the Parapaka level in the latent form. Yogis, rishis and munis, the scientists of yore, have known this truth, not by the mind, but by raising their awareness to that level. In order to make this truth available to man at its prevent level of the evolution in a manner that he can grasp, Shiva as a part of his anugraha or grace reveals Satya or the Vaikhari or the spoken level. In answer to questions posed by this Sakti and she knows all that has emerged from the Rudramala and Trika, which is from the quintessence of all doctrines, and dedicated to the quest for truth. This tradition of Tantra, where Shiva expresses himself through the medium of his Shakti, has higher connotations too, for it's through the medium of energy that consciousness Shiva reveals itself. Without Shakti, Shiva remains unmanifest and inherent. So this is the all about very beginning to understand. So here Lord Shiva and he teaches the science of Tantra to the concept, to the Shakti. But you must understand Shiva is the pure consciousness, and he teaching everything and to the Shakti. So you can see that, and if you are a good scholar or in the science of Tantra, the science of yoga, science of Veda, whatever, and you check sometimes there is always medium. There is always medium. For example, we need a mirror. We can't see our face sometimes. We need a mirror to see our face. Similarly, so we need a medium to pass the language or pass the knowledge, pass the wisdoms, whatever. So here, Lord Shiva and the Bhairava, Lord Shiva, he passes all knowledge of the Tantra, the science of liberation, through the Shakti, through the concept. So there are many things to know about it, but I just go just briefly. We can also read a little bit more, but however, I go last stanzas of the commentary. This Agama literature is very extensive, as it includes all that comes under the banner of experiential knowledge or is related to existence and creation. Although the Tantras contain the very same information, the Agamas, they are a more classified literature in that they deal with the specific topics. In this way, the Tantric text eliminated the unnecessary and kept what was important. There are 64 Tantras, a number which is related to the Chatusat, say Chausat Shakti Pithas, means 64 places of Shakti in various parts of India. So there are 64 Siddhapit, where many people and do practice also Tantra, Sadhakas, and I said the scriptures, and there and they said the scriptures what they say. Very interesting that. So they say that Satya or the truth, or is eternal, or the enlightenments. Those people are enlightenment. It is a forever existence in the cosmos, or the Parapak level. Parapak means higher, supreme level, in the latent form. Yogis, rishis, munis, or gurus, the scientists of pure, have known this truth, not by the mind. So again, it's very clear that the science of enlightenments, it cannot known by the mind only, or it cannot known through the limited knowledge. So therefore we say limited knowledge also dangerous. Jnana bandha. You already study in the Shiva Sutra. Jnanam bandha, right? The limited knowledge is the bondage of sufferings. Limited knowledge. That already studied in the Shiva Sutra. Similarly, so whatever knowledge we are experiencing by the mind, by the senses, or by the matters, by the forms, it does not help in order to attain the higher consciousness of the enlightenments. So therefore, but by raising their awareness to that level, so that means one has to develop the awareness, the consciousness. One has to awaken the consciousness, that level, that supreme level, that transcendental conscious level, then only, in order to make this truth available to man at his present level of the evolution in a manner that he can grasp. Shiva, as a part of his anugraha or grace, reveals Satya at the Vaikhari or the spoken level in answer to questions posed by his Shakti. So here, they see that Lord Shiva, he tried to explain and Vaikhari in the part of our teaching process by the grace. We say grace. The science of enlightenment, it does not come and the science of enlightenment is not easily to teach someone. So we always need the grace, the blessings of the masters in order to receive the knowledge. Even they teach intellectual levels. So what I mean here, so but some extent they try to teach intellectual levels or by the mind called Vaikhari. Vaikhari, they try to explain certain extent, but only by the grace. So here, and Lord Shiva have his grace to the Shakti, and he teaching the science of enlightenment to the Shakti, to the concept of Shiva. So they say, then Sutta number 2. It's a reality of the Bhairava. Adyapi na nibrityu me sansaya parameswara kimropam tatvato deva shabdarasi kalamayam. जैसे अद्यापि न निवृतो मे संशयः परमेश्वर किम रूपं तत्त्वो तदेव शब्दराशि कलामयम्. जैसे अद्यापि न निवृतो मे संशयः परमेश्वर किम रूपं तत्त्वो तदेव शब्दराशि कलामयम्. जैसे अद्यापि, even today, अद्यापि means even today, न निर्भिताः, not dispelled, adyapi, even today, non nirbita, not dispelled, me, mine, sammaya, sab, say, some, sankhaya, sankhaya, say some, samsaya, samsaya, samsaya means doubts, parameshwara, oh Supreme Lord. So Supreme Lord here the Lord Shiva, Lord Shiva is the Supreme Lord as a Bhairava consciousness. Kim Rupam, what form? Tattvataha, in essence. Tattva means essence. That is what you study. Tattva Bodha, the essence of enlightenment. That is called Tattva Bodha. The essence of enlightenment. The absolute consciousness of enlightenment. That is called Tattva Bodha, what you study. Atma Bodha, enlightenment on the, so enlightenment the Atman, or get the knowledge of Atman, get wisdom of Atman, being enlightenment, to have the Atma Jnana. Being enlightenment means a Atma Jnani, Brahma Jnani. So that is called Atma Bodha. A person who have a knowledge, the wisdom of the Atman, who is fully liberated. One. So, what is your reality? This, sorry, essence, Deva, O Divine One. Say, Sabda Rasi Kalamayam, Sabda Rasi, multitude or garland of letters. Kalamayam, creative energy of the divine, creative energy of the. Translation, what they say, O Supreme Lord, in spite of everything that I have heard, even today my doubts are not dispelled. What is your reality, or Divine One? Are you the power of energy? Are you the power or energy contained in the sound from which all the mantras have originated? This is the question mark comes. Say here, this is O Supreme Lord, O Lord Shiva, O the Bhairava consciousness. In spite of everything that I have heard, even today my doubts are not dispelled. So, whatever I heard, whatever I have been studied in Rudramala Tantra, that is Sutta number 1. Rudramala Tantra explain also science of enlightenment as well, but that was not enough. So they say, what is your reality? O Divine One. So what is your reality? So, and what is your reality means, what is your nature? Are you the power of energy? Are you the real power of power or energy content sound from which all the mantras have originated? So it is the, so very beginning they say that mantras, mantra. So mantra is the create the sounds. So later we shall go a little bit details about commentary to understand clearly. If Rudramala and Trika are the quaintness essence of all the scriptures, then one wonders why they still have the doubts after hearing and understanding them in a detail. So Mother Parvati, the concept, the Bhairavi, even if she study all Rudramala Tantra and Trikas, and this kind of a Tantra Shastras explains the essence of the truth, the essence of enlightenment. But still, why the Devi, the Vairavi, still have the doubts after hearing and understanding the many details? It means she learned, she have been studied, she have been experienced the essence of enlightenments, whatever taught in the Rudramala Trikas, but still she is not free from all doubts. This is because the writer wants to emphasize that mere understanding of the scriptures is not enough to realize the supreme reality. One has to experience in order to know that phenomenon fully. Until then, it is merely intellectual knowledge, and doubts will thus prevail. It is experience alone that can transform the awareness and turn doubts into faith, as experience above the realm of intellect. According to Tantra, nada or cosmic sound is the fast evaluate in the scheme of creation. When Shiva, the supreme consciousness, wants to create, he sends forth his creativeness, power, or the soul. Who creates? Spandan, or the vibration. Spandan or vibration through her inherent attributes to the jnana, knowledge, kriya, action, icha, the will. So this is called three Vedas. That is what we study Trika. The jnana, then kriya and icha. Three things to remember. That is called Trikayo. Trikayo is the three things: knowledge, actions, and willpowers. The vibration gives rise to the nada, the cosmic sound, from which mantra, achara, and all form sounds originate. This all sounds are coming from the vibration gives rise to the nada or cosmic sound, from which mantra, akshara, and all form sounds are originated. So you see that the sound, through sounds, their mantras are originated. The akshara, the letters are originated. The forms are originated. The vibration gives rise to the nada or the cosmic sound, from which mantra, akshara, all form of sounds originated. Very interesting. So you can understand now the mantras, the letters are originate from the sounds. Therefore, we say that and the damaru means the drums of the Lord Shiva, what he play, and they are called damaru. You understand what I call damaru? I can show you. Yes, I'll show you a little bit. Very interesting that. So this is the damaru, you see. So that is how we play. This is not old one. So like this, the damaru. So what happened when Lord Shiva was playing this damaru and is playing this damaru? What happening? So this damaru creates some vibrations, and after that, cosmic sound is called cosmic sound. So this damaru is the create cosmic sounds. That's why we play traditionally. And from the sounds of damaru is coming from all mantras, all letters as well. Like we study the Sanskrit letters, a, e, and o, all the way to the and we say ha, kya, ya, la. So many letters. That is more than 54 letters. So they say 55 letters. But generally there is 48 letters, 48 to 51 possible. But officially there is 48 letters in Sanskrit. But there is certain extent, I was counting one time. So 48 letters, but I tried to find my mother tongues. In Orissa, they have mother tongues. And I find certain letters are more. Certain letters are more. So possibly you can find 50 and 51. I try to count like this one time. But generally 48 letters. I think one way, certain extent I'm sure. Among the all languages in the world, the Sanskrit languages has more letters. And sometimes you think the Dravida civilization like Tamil Nadu in India, they have more letters. But I'm not Tamil, so I don't know exactly how many letters they have. And so therefore, and we can leave the research, but I know 48 letters. And we can manage that 50 or 51 letters. But anyway, also we see that like Mother Kali, and she holding the garland, like the skull bones, it is around, I think, 55. 54, we say that, 55. So like that. So that you can research a little bit of homework. The letters. So all letters are coming from the sounds of the cosmic sounds, the mantras and letters. What happened in that? The concept of Akshara is peculiar to the philosophy, which is considered is to be full of creative energy of the divine. So all letters, because you see, whatever available today, the scripture to us is all are by the letters, right? By the slokas, by the Sanskrit sutras. Whatever available knowledge, you understand me? Whatever available to us today, either in the Tantra Shastra, the Yoga Shastra, or the Vedic Shastras, all are composed in Sanskrit. And Sanskrit letters, all are the letters, right? And through that, we are getting the knowledge of enlightenment. How, what is the soul, what is the Brahman, what is the Atman, what is the Tantra, what is the Shiva, what is the Shakti, and so on, what is yoga. So we can see that the language composed by many. So language is all related to letters. The concept of akshara means letters, is peculiar to energy of divine. This creative energy, like alphabets, akshara means alphabets. This creative energy is the power only when the mantra or the sound becomes efficacious and reveals its hidden power to the aspirant. So, like we say, Chaitanyam Atma, the Atma is pure consciousness, awakening consciousness. But that, when you only read the Chaitanyam Atma, you don't know the Sanskrit meanings. So, when a master, a guru, when reveal, a saint or sage or monk or brahmanista gurus, when they reveal the meaning of the monk, the meaning of the words, the meaning of the mantras, the meaning of the letters, the meaning of the sentence, so naturally have the powers. This creative energy is the power residing in the mantras known as matrika, which is realized only when the mantra and sounds became efficacious and reveals its hidden power to the aspirant. The etymology of the word akshara suggests that it is an indestructible power, and therefore it is also called Akshara Brahman. Like Om, we say Om is called Akshara Brahma, is one letter and is absolute consciousness. We say Om, 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 but it's the simple letter of Om. And if you chanting only Om, you repeat the Om, it creates the vibration of the absolute consciousness. And it leads all the way to experience that of Brahmagyana. The mantra Om is helping you to how to develop the transcendental consciousness. And mantra Om can only help you also to awaken Kundalini. And this mantra Om is helping you from Muladhara chakra to the Sahasrara and all the way to above, to reach the Brahmarandra to higher. We say Sahasrara chakra, Sahasrara chakra. But Sahasrara is the lower state of the consciousness. And after that, we have 7 lokas, and that state of the consciousness going to help you to Brahmagyana as well. Even mantra Om, they're called Akshara Brahma. Therefore, Devi is the curious to know if the supreme reality is the same as the hidden power of mantra. So, here, very interesting that. So, Devi asked, here the question mark is, so Devi was a little bit doubts, although she had been the study the science of enlightenment through the Rudramala Tantra and Trika, but she have little doubts here. Therefore, Devi is curious and doubts to know if the supreme reality is the same as the hidden power of mantra, like mantra Om. So she tried to know about it. supreme reality, the supreme absolute knowledge. So hidden power of mantra, so curious. Am I clear now? Like mantra Om, it is the hidden power, hidden power. So therefore, Akshara Brahma. Brahma means Brahma, you absolute conscious. Akshara, the letter Om, it's called Akshara Brahma. Only mantra Om is help you to liberate and experience yourself, the wisdom of Atman, the wisdom of Brahmagyan, the absolute consciousness. Then Sutta number 3, this is how the Bhairava reality is perceived. It's a Kimva Navatma Vedena Vairavi Vairava Kritau 30 Veda Virinam Va Kim Va Sakti Trayatmakam. This is a Kimva Navatma Vedena Kim Va Navatma Vedena Vairavi Vairava Kritau 30 Veda Virinam Va Kim Va Sakti Trayatmakam Kim Va or else Navatmaka Vedena, piercing of the 9 Atmas, Vairava, in Vairava Agama, Vairava, Akritav, Vairava Akritav. You say in the form of state Vairava, 3 sis and 3 sis, 3 si Raha, 3 flows, Veda, penetrations, Avinam, different, Va or Kim what? Va the Sakti, Trayatmakam, 3 kind of Sakti. So let we shall go to the details. Can your reality be perceived through the 9 different ways? Can your reality be perceived? So they be still asking the questions to the Bhairava, to the Lord Shiva. Can your reality be perceived through the 9 different ways by which one can enter the realm of higher consciousness as enumerated in Vairavagas? Is it different from the procedure in Trishira Bhairava Tantra, or can it be perceived through knowledge of the triple forms of Sakti, Para, Parapara and Apara? So this kind of 3 triple Para, Parapara and Apara. These are my doubts, O Bhairava. So let we shall go more details. Here Devi refers to the procedure that have been enumerated in Vairavagas. Trishira Bhairava Tantra and the Trika philosophy. Vairavagas is not just a tantric text, but encompasses the entire spectrum of knowledge, which has been handed down on the subject of that state of consciousness defined as Vairava. Navatma refers to the 9 different designs of the formation of consciousness that are to be realized in order to attain that state. That state called Vairava, which grants bliss and liberation, is of 9 forms. You can utilize any one of these forms to approach that state. The 9 forms as follows: Kala, 9 forms of Kala: time, Kula, one that ascends, Nama, the name, Jnana, the knowledge, Chitta, the awareness, Nada, the sound, Bindu, the seed, Kala, the wave, and Jiva, the individual soul. So these are the 1, 2, is a Kala, Kula. So 9, these are the 9 colors. So it's very interesting to review also today, right? Then what they say, just as there are 9 designs for the supreme consciousness, there are also 9 designs for the supreme energy, which is known as Vairavi. So it's very interesting. Just as there are the 9 designs for the supreme consciousness, there are also 9 designs for the supreme energy, and which is known as Vairavi. So here is very interesting that if you are going to reach the Vairav consciousness, you have to go through the Sakti, through the consciousness of Vairavi, through the Parasakti. There are 9. They are Bhama, the energy that flows in the Ida Nadi. Ambika, the energy that flows in the Pingala Nadi. Jeshta, the supreme flow of energy in the Susumna. So they give different name here. Ida, Pingala, Susumna. They don't speak like that. They say Bama, the left, is called Ida Nadi. Ambika, the right energy. There's a different name they put. Ambika. Ambika name of also the mother Durga as well. Jeshta. Jeshta means actually supreme. Jeshta means big. We say Jeshta. Like I was born in the month of Jeshta. Jeshta means summer. Jeshta means also we literally translate big. The elder brother of the home. Somebody the elder, eldest. And it's called Jeshta. The supreme flow of energy in Susumna Nadi. Raudri, protectrix of space. Icha, the energy of will. Jnana, the energy of knowledge. Kriya, the energy of action. Santi, energy of tranquility. And Prana, the transcendental energy. This form react deeply to the intonation of mantras and regulate flow of breath. So that is are the qualities. That how we study the three. That is the three flow of the energy. The Ida, the Pingala, and Susumna. Then what happens? So Susumna, they say that Ida, Pingala, Susumna. Susumna, supreme flow of energy is called Susumna. Very interesting. So before we study Ida, Pingala, Susumna, but Susumna means awakening the Kundalini, which is the supreme flow of energy direct to the Brahmarandra, and they are here and unite between the Shiva and Shakti as well. When awakening the Kundalini takes place in the Susumna, and is the all the way, the Shakti rise and unite with the Shiva, and union with the Shiva in the Sahasra, in the Brahmarandra, and that the real tantric union. That you have been studying also in Gupta Sadhana, that the real Maithuna as well. When the Susumna, when the Parasakti awakening and rising all the way, ascending through the Muladhara Chakra, Swadhisthana, Manipura, and Anahat, Visuddhi, Ajna, all the way reach to the Sahasra and unite with the Shiva. So this is the real Maithuna, real union. And that is where one can experience the supreme and consciousness, the very first level of the enlightenments, not the highest, but the first level. Then the first is of Samadhi, then you go further. So they say, then what happened after that? It's a Raudri, the protectress of the space, Icha, the energy of will. So that is all Jnana. It's Icha Sakti, Kriya Sakti, Jnana Sakti. So energy of knowledge, Kriya, energy of action, Shanti, the energy of tranquility, and equanimous of the mind, the Para, the transcendental energy. These forms react deeply to the intonation of mantras and regulate flow of breath. You can imagine that? The mantra can create so many things. Mantra have the powers. When chanting mantras, everything happens. So you can experience Ida, Pingala, Susumna. You can protect it, and Icha Sakti, the willpower, the Jnana, the Kriya, the Parasakti, the equanimity, so many things. These forms react deeply to the intonation of mantras and regulate flow of the breath. So mantra have the so much powers, so much powers. And these mantras, is it coming from the, is it yours the power? So here Devya, is it your power or Shiva? Is it your power? Is it your Shakti? It is your transcendental consciousness, what it is. Trishira Bhairava Tantra is the text which outlines the rule of the three flow of prana, known as Ida, Pingala, and Susumna. The word three means three, and Sira literally means that which carries. In this case, Trisira refers to the three major nadis that carry the flow of the prana Shakti or Kundalini to the highest centers after piercing the 6 vital chakras located along the spine. There is another related work of significant importance known as Trishira Upanishad that deals with these 3 sairas or flow of the vital energy. So later we shall see in the future to study Trishira Upanishad in Vedic science. Later we see, then we can find a lot of mystic science. Then we can read that. I will check it. That deals with these 3 siras or flow of vital energy. Trisira is one of the Tantra's most unique concept. In fact, All of the practices of yoga and tantra are aimed at balancing these three flow of energy. It is a claim of both yoga and tantra that when the flow of prana in Ida and Pingala nadis is balanced and equalized, a tremendous awakening takes place, whereby the dormant serpent power of Kundalini begins its ascent through the third nadi, known as Susumna. So when Ida and Pingala, they say it is key claim both yoga and tantra that when the flow of prana in Ida and Pingala nadis, so prana flow is the both in Ida and Pingala as well. And when it's balancing, when it became balanced, what happening? So Ida Pingala, prana always flow. But it's very interesting that either tantra or the yoga, either you study Kundalini science or chakra yoga. But Ida and Pingala, it has to be balanced. The flow of the prana has to be balanced, has to be equanimous, has to be, how say, has to be harmony. Prana always flow, right? Prana always flow, Ida and Pingala, but it does not harmonized, right? And when prana flow into Ida and Pingala, it harmonizes the consciousness, harmonize the prana, harmonize the energy. And that help you in order to tremendous awakening takes place, whereby the dormant serpent power of Kundalini or Kundalini begins its ascent through the third nadi Susumna, ascending to upwards to rising the consciousness all the way to the Sahasrara. Trika or the triple form of Sakti is related to the entire gambit of experiences that arise in relation to this awakening on the gross, subtle, and causal levels. This whole universe of matter is nothing but energy. This field of energy extends from the manifestations of matter to the transformations of the matter into energy and consciousness, and finally into pure spirit. The range of energy includes both matter and spirit. And in this sense, energy is gross as well as the transcendental. Therefore, materialistic pay homage to the energy, and so do the spiritualistic. This is the proof in it that Sakti or energy is not limited to any one sphere, but is present in all the locus and realms of existence. So what happening? So once we are experiencing the field of energy extend from the manifestations of matter to transform of the matter into energy and consciousness, and finally into pure spirit or the pure consciousness. The range of energy includes both matter and spirit. Said in the sense, energy is gross as well as transcendental. So two things. You see, we have normal energy prana. And when prana is unite between Ida and Pingala, what happening? It's become more subtlest. And awakening Susumna takes place. When awakening Susumna takes place, it means you actually transcend your gross form of the prana into transcendental consciousness and transcendental energy, transcendental level. Therefore, materialists pay homage to energy, but so do the spiritualistic. This proof in itself that Sakti or energy is not limited to any one sphere, but is present in all the locus in the realm of existence. So what do you do? In material life, we get so much energy, so much prana. Then what do you do? How we use them? So we are using them for our material gains. We have the families, we have the children, we have the money, we have the business, we have the motor cars, we have the buildings, we have a house. So we are creating so much that energy, the prana, right? Due to prana energy, the material energy, what do you do? We can also many friends. We can have the wife, we can have children, we can many things through the prana. If you have not a proper prana within yourself, not the gross energy, so you will have no one will stay with you, right? So your prana, your energy is also attract to others in material forms. But in spiritually, what they do, they consume this energy and they keep this energy, they preserve this vital energy, and they try to unite with Ida and Pingala, and that helping to awaken Kundalini and that energy, and they not using for material gain. So you can see that many saints, gurus, masters, yogis, and they use this energy and they stay in the cave of the Himalayas or the stream bank of the Ganga, or the like on a tree like Lord Buddha. So the holy people, what you call sages and saints, they preserve this energy, and this preserve this energy. And for not one life, 1,000 lives, million lives, not one life is not possible. So ages and ages, years and years, the research, and final what happened? So they transcend this energy, the vital energy, the gross material pranic energy into subtlest form. That is called awakening system. And awakening system not enough, but you need to rise this energy into transcendental cosmic energy, there where you are experience the grace and blessings of the Parasakti. Parasakti. So in this sloka, Devi outlines. Then what happening? After that, you are going to experience. Not limited to anyone despair, but is present in all lokas or realms of the existence. So once you are transcend this consciousness, then you can experience in a different and a higher realm of the consciousness. But end of the day, we need still the grace of Parasakti, like Navaratri is going on now. So in India, we worship the grace and blessings, love and compassion and kindness. It is like a boon from the Parasakti. And without without blessing of Parasakti, not possible to experience awakening Kundalini, or to rise this Kundalini to higher consciousness, and to experience that realms of existence. In this sloka, Devi outlines 3 very important procedures for attaining higher state of awareness. The first is the penetration into Navatma. So that already studied Navatma, the 9 space. That word you study. That word already I have been explaining you. What is that? It's called Navatma. That you study. They say there are 9 designs for the supreme consciousness. There are also 9 designs for the supreme energy, which is known as Vairavi, Kalabama, Ambika, Zesta, Rudri, Isha, Jnana, Kriya, and Para, and so on. And Santi also. So these are the 9 forms of the Navatma, the Vairavi consciousness. The first is the penetration to Navatma, or the 9th state of the higher awareness mentioned earlier. The second is piercing, awareness of the flow of Ida, Pingala, and Susunna. And the third is the deep awareness of the 3 realms of Sakti. That is called Jnana Sakti, Icha Sakti, and Kriya Sakti. Each of these can be experienced through the awareness of breath, or the mantras, or both together. So they be asked if that supreme reality can be realized through these procedures. So they be asked to the Bhairava, to the Lord Shiva. So these are the questions. So can I attain through this Navatma, through the first, the penetration to Navatma, the 9th state of the higher awareness mentioned, what I already explained. The second is piercing, about to it is awakening by the union between Ida and Pingala and Sushumna awakening. Can I reach that higher consciousness? It is a procedure, it is a method, it is a techniques. What it is? How I can reach? Is it these methods are really helpful? Like today we study many techniques from gurus, right? We have still doubts. Is it this Akshara Brahma can help? Is this technique of Ida and Pingala, when union and Sushumna awake, can is help for the to realize myself? So we have so many doubts. So sometimes we study many techniques from many gurus, many sadhus, many saints. Even our own gurus we study, and we still have doubts on our guru and also techniques. And I saw many people like in my life also. I always initiate the techniques, and I have been study very pure. Even I initiate, sometimes people are so doubts, and they go to other gurus, other teachers to ask. So similarly, here Devi also, the goddess, and she asks these questions. Is it these are the techniques one can take the help and to do sadhana to reach the higher consciousness? Doubt is doubt. The human life is remain doubts. Doubts never can actually one can clear until you have to trust yourself. So easy, they say, and after that, and there is And the third is the deep awareness of the three realms of Shakti that we study: Jnana Shakti, Ichha Shakti, and the Kriya Shakti. Jnana, the knowledge; Ichha, the willpowers, and the actions. Kriya, the actions. This is the Kriya Shakti. Each of these can be experienced through the awareness of the breath. Each of these can be experienced through the awareness of the breath, or mantras, or both together. So here, another thing is how to experience these things. How to experience. So another thing is that each of these can be experienced through the awareness of breath, mantras, or so they act through the mantra and through the breath. Can experience all these things: Ida, Pingala, Susumna, Navatma, or three Kriyas, so on. You understand me? Or they be asked if that supreme reality can be realized through these procedures. Very interesting. So here the breath and mantras, the primordial practice, the primordial, the sadhanas, and through that, and you can going to experience Ida, Pingala, Susumna, and Kriya Shakti, Ichha Shakti, and Jnana Shakti as well. Then after that, Navatma, the ninth state of the consciousness. Already I have been explaining you all these things. Is Siklabama, Ambika. That is what they say that. So we have to clarify that Lord Shiva explained the science of Tantra were the questioning by the Shakti, the Parasakti. It is not a question by the Parasakti. It is actually techniques revealed by the Shakti to the Lord Shiva, right? You have to understand this way. Whatever Shakti asking, because she asking everything. So these are actual techniques. These are the methods. And she asking to the Lord Shiva, to the Bhairava. But Bhairava later going to give all answers. But for me, as per my understandings, yes, these are the techniques that whatever is he questioning it, and you have to remember clear. This is called homework, and the homework you have to do. It means Parasakti, the Bhairavi already have the knowledge of the enlightenments, but she have doubts in this. Maybe she have other methods. She have any, or she practice all the techniques or methods, and it's already enlightenment. But she have doubts a little bit. Is which methods actually helped me to understand the final enlightenment? Is another way. Or it is this technique already helped me. Sometimes you see, you can read the, like for example, I can read the English. I can speak the English. Doesn't mean I know the proper grammars. Understand me? Sometimes we speak good English and we can explain also what are the meanings, but doesn't mean you know the proper grammars. So similarly, the Parasakti have knowledge of enlightenment, but she have doubts, and which techniques already help her to already understand the higher consciousness. She have doubts. So here, in my understanding, does mean Parasakti have no knowledge. Bhairavi already have knowledge in my understanding, but to a certain extent, and Parasakti and wish to have a clarify with Lord Shiva, and whatever Lord Shiva going to teach to the mother Parvati, to Bhairavi, and that today that is available to us. So it means the Bhairavi, the Parasakti, and blessing source, she have the grace for us, like we are common human beings, and yogis or sadhakas, right? So who can actually obtain this knowledge from Lord Shiva? Actually, we don't have this kind of qualifications. So Mother Parvati, the consort, the Bhairavi, she have the qualifications, and she the qualified one, and she can really approach to the Lord Shiva and get all the knowledge, the secrets from the Lord Shiva. So therefore, directly get knowledge from Lord Shiva is not possible. So we can get knowledge, the science of Tantra, the science of wisdom of the Atman and Brahmagyan through the Sakti, through the Parasakti. And through Parasakti, we can reach actually to Lord Shiva. Right? So this is the or reach to the Bhairav consciousness. So again, once again, so Vijnana Tantra is a discourse between Bhairavi, the mother of Parvati, and Bhairava, the Lord Shiva, as a guru and disciple, as a consort of the Lord Shiva. So in this concept, the sutta number 3 is completed. Then we can go further. Am I clear that today? Because when we review the lessons, we understand a little bit different. And I try to also understand differently as well. I also understand a little bit differently as well. So we'll continue like this. It's very interesting also for me. And we'll carry on the science of the Vijnana Tantra. So, do you have any questions, Yoganand, Julie, Atmanand? 2 minutes. I can take 5 minutes.
I have a question, Swamiji.
Yes, please.
There are 9 designs for supreme consciousness, and there are also 9 designs for supreme energy. Is it that, how shall I say it? To know the supreme energy, you can also get liberation. Is that right? So you have 9 and other 9. So each of them can lead to liberation. Is that right?
Yes, it is a method, it is a procedures. It is all our procedure, it is the methods, it is the techniques that leads all the way to the enlightenment. Which method we can follow, doesn't matter. Therefore, they be asked, these are all are the methods, is all are the procedures to reach the higher consciousness. That is the question mark to the Lord Shiva, to the Bhairava.
Yes. Okay, I understand.
You know, sometimes we can actually enlightenment, but sometimes you don't know which technique help us to the enlightenment. So as a guru, and you have to, as a teacher, you have to understand what kind of method you can teach to the own students, right?
Yes.
Sometimes we are very happy, sometimes we are attending samadhi, but we don't know how we attend the samadhi. So what kind of technique actually help us to be attend samadhi? So sometimes you are very doubts, because like sometimes we have good sleep, but we don't know how we sleep well. So like that, we can be enlightenment, but we don't know what kind of technique help us to be enlightenment.
Okay.
So therefore, Mother Parvati actually, and want to clarify which methods are the really and leads to the all the way to the enlightenments. So in my understanding, the Vairavi, the Mother Parvati, is already enlightenment. But somehow she want to be a guru, because Lord Shiva not a guru for all these things. Lord Shiva is the guru for the Mother Parvati, and after that Mother Parvati became guru of all kind of science, either tantra, the mantra, the yoga, whatever the knowledge available today. So without blessings, without grace of Parasakti, so actually you are not going to have enlightenments. So we have to go through the Sakti, and that is the 9 days pujas we do. We say Shiva Saktya Yukta Yadi Bhavati Sakta Prabhaveto. Without Sakti, Shiva can't create anything. Shiva can't do anything. So without Sakti, so there is no liberation. So we shall pray to Mother Parvati, to Durga, Ma, Kali Ma, Saraswati Ma, or Tara Ma, let bless us in order to experience our divinity. And once we experience the divinity of the the divine consciousness of the Parashakti. So naturally, we can enter into experience the Bhairav consciousness, the consciousness of liberations, and enter into kingdom of Siva Loka. Then you are free, like Lord Shiva. Will never will born and never going to die. And that is the Bhairav state of the consciousness. Om Namah Shivaya Gurave Satchidanandamurtaye Nisprapanchaya Santaya Niralambaya Tejase Om Sankaram Sankaracharyam Kesavam Vadarayanam Sutramhasakritam Vande Bhagavanto Punaha Punaha Ishvara Gururatmeti Murti Bheda Vibhagine Vyamavad Vyapta Dehaya Sri Dachina Murtaye Namaha Sri Dachina Murtaye Namaha Sri Dachina Murtaye Namaha Lokaha Samastaha Shukhino Bhavantu Lokaha Samastaha Shukhino Bhavantu Lokaha Samastaha Shukhino Bhavantu. Later we chant Om Aim Hrim Klim Chamundai Viche Namaha Om Aim Hrim Klim Chamundai Viche Namaha Om Aim Hrim Klim Chamundai Viche Namaha. Let 5 times Om Dum Durgaya Namaha. 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 Om Shanti 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 Harihi Om. Om Namah Shivaya. 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 Om. 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 Silent for a few minutes, just 1 minute. Bring your whole awareness to the Sahasra. Let sublimations, all energy into Sahasra. Let transform the whole energy into Sahasra. Let experience the divine consciousness, the Parashakti, and union of the Shivas, the Bhairav consciousness. Experience the oneness, the pure consciousness. Experience peace and happiness, the love and compassion in your heart chakra. Get the full vital energy within yourself. Let rest in the peace. Remain. So thank you. You can rub your palms. Heal yourself for 3 times. Thank you. Thanks to all. May God bless you all.